It's here for Yamamuni Akwaba Eba Melodies podcast YouTube channel. So now the latest on a year announced ne partner Ahmed Nikuno. Yes, the latest on that ne say a year US congressman be a friend Hank Johnson I condemned the killing. Now Hank Johnson atro a year krater akoma US Secretary of State. Now or katro mo say a year Kennedy Japan yem banning for life. Yem banning no my penny emanemba a year America biom. A san say almost to say Kennedy Japan eka ho na a branch way yekukuno. Almost to say Kennedy Japan no in sema oko TV so ekoye no. Eka ho na just say a branch way yekukuno. Now our truck rata tin a year US congressman or truck rata tin akoma a year US Secretary of State say yambani Kennedy Japan. Now me read the entry was saying US congressman Hank Johnson has condemned the killing of Ghanaian investigative journalist Ahmed Swale at Medina in Accra on Wednesday night and wants the US to join in investigations into his death. Naturally say and yes sir yambani Kennedy Japan pe now opese US a year FBI for ebeboa Ghana na omochi omodi boni we no. Now yeah just story also saying Mr. Johnson in a letter to the US Secretary of State said the US government must also look at possible sanctions including a travel ban against the member of parliament for Asin Central Kennedy Agyapong over his conduct and utterances against the deceased prior to his killing. No self-explanatory. I say in sema Kennedy Japan go kekan wo TV so no. Osha and no crack ho na branch and yekuno. Now it was say Hank Johnson in a letter to the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the US must deploy its security agencies to support Ghana with intelligence among other resources to investigate the murder. Now Osha and yes yenchi Kennedy Japan pe and yes yenchi ne pe na o say almost so embo Ghana na yenye nhwehwemu na che say yentumi enchi omukokun eye abranche no etie for nsema e baba de very interesting. It was say he also urged the application of travel, banking and other applicable sanctions targeting Kennedy Japan, who he said urged violence against the journalist prior to his murder. It was Hank Johnson, the US representative for Georgia's 4th congressional district, said the value of the Ahmed Swale's work and the Americans' principle of freedom of the press warrants that it gets involved to promptly investigate the matter. Now, I can say we cannot allow the voices of truth to be muffled by those who would benefit from silence and deceit, the congressman added in his letter. Now, it's here for letter no wapa me try say me read it actually now you're making some sense out of this. Now, yanko letter ne so me read the entry one okay, dear Secretary Pompeo. Na edinu minim se mimbo ni ye dia ba POMPEO. Na ye so o say I write to urge maximum US diplomatic law enforcement and intelligence support for an investigation into the murder of journalist Ahmed Swale, who was shot to death in Ghana on January 16, 2019, as well as to urge the application of travel, banking, and other application sanctions targeting Kennedy Japan MP, a Ghanaian politician who urged violence against the journalist prior to his murder. Now, first paragraph no, asema a congressman can say or trota we say yebeboa Ghana na say omo akohwehwe Ahmed ni wunimu na aside that nso Kennedy Japan yemba no travel and banking and other applicable sanctions so sure and you say ye man a lifetime travel ban pe say ye man band say unto me banke ewo America one say Canada Japan so nemba ewo America ho and also say he has properties be America ho ntimi so say our bank account wo ho but ye per se ye banning no from even banking there. He will not even be able to own a bank account in America if this indeed goes through. Now, yet story no so second article no so say Mr. Hussein Swale established his reputation as an undercover journalist exposing corruption, most prominently in the 2018 investigation of disgraced FIFA Council member Kwesi Nyantakyi. The suspicious circumstances of his murder this week warrant particular scrutiny as Americans dedicated to freedom of press. We must acknowledge that repression of the free press anywhere threatens the free press everywhere, including here at home. Now, and say Ahmed no oka omo asebe omo investigation na egu Kwesi Nyantakyi enimu ase na American so omo gidi e free press mu na Ahmed no ekokun no it goes bad on free press. It goes bad on free press. Na senior endra me ye video me chemo se sisia ama investigative journalist bebre abon investigative journalist bebre abon say say ye nua we yetumi aye ne say ende yen so ye betumi aye yen sa ohwe Ghana ha say nipa otai kasapan ye Franklin Kujo Imani Ghana anoka sisia anyama bi otrocho wo social media no tumi say wabon so say na say ndi on kasabium na say investigative journalist to me kun say no or expose corruption so nkofo ebetumi ekun because nkofo am na threat but no na sa threat no on funny serious but sisia there say threat na so often serious. Now it also say Mr. Hussein Swale worked as a journalist investigating corruption in many sectors from government to international athletics alongside famed reporter Anas Arimeya Anas for Tiger IPI and the British Broadcasting Corporation. In May 2018, the duo published footage of senior FIFA Council member Kwesi Nyantakyi accepting a $63,000 bribe from undercover journalist. Soon after, FIFA stripped Mr. Nyantakyi of his position and banned him from the sport for life. After Mr. Hussein Swale, Mr. Anas and their colleagues exposed widespread corruption across Ghana's National Soccer League earlier this year, Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo summarily dissolved the Ghana Football Association. The same investigation exposed dozens of soccer officials accepting illegal payments, including a referee scheduled to officiate at last year's World Cup in Moscow, Russia. Osha, in sema okekano, say yenim information we niya Kwesi Nyantakyi nsem no. Inti no say no per se state secretary na secretary of state no no per se ohun Ahmed no ejuma waye na o say Ahmed no ni BBC aye ejuma na ohwe FIFA ejuma FIFA nam so de ban Kwesi Nyantakyi for life no Ahmed lead investigator wom inti Ahmed no ni pakese pa na that's what say on Wednesday January 16th Mr. Hussein Swale was killed near his home by 3 bullets fired at close range, 2 in his chest and 1 in his neck. No arrests have yet been made in connection with the murder. Press freedom organizations such as Reporters Without Borders, RSF, and the Committee to Protect Journalists, CPJ, have expressed grave concern that this was a targeted assassination. The concern is wholly reasonable. Mr. Hussein Swale and colleagues involved in the investigation of Mr. Nyantakyi came under heavy personal attack when they disclosed their findings in mid-2018, including from a member of the Ghanaian parliament. That member, Agyapong, took to the screen on his own television station and disgraced himself by outrageously encouraging violence against the journalists. offering to pay personally for such violence, disclosing Mr. Hussein Swale's whereabouts, and publishing photographs of the undercover journalist live on screen. Asem we dey tie for sha the Kennedy Agyapong oye no eno na omo boso e wa ha okoye e won na tu ono ani TV stations so eno omo boso wa ha no to aso say the professional execution style slaying of Mr. Hussein Swale's murder in the aftermath of Mr. Agyapong's disgraceful threat raises serious and credible suspicions about the circumstances of this murder. We cannot allow the voices of truth to be muffled by those who would benefit from silence and deceit. Our cherished American principles of freedom of the press necessitate a prompt and thorough investigation. I therefore respectfully request the department to take the following actions: assess the potential scope of U.S. diplomatic law enforcement and intelligence support for the government of Ghana's investigation of Mr. Hussein Swale's death, including potential FBI support via the Office of the Legal Attaché at the U.S. Embassy in Accra. Conduct an independent assessment of the murder and quality and scope of the Ghanaian government investigation, and determine what sanctions may be leveled against Kennedy Agyapong MP, including a ban on travel to the US, a ban on access to the US banking system for Mr. Kennedy Agyapong and his businesses, and any other appropriate and applicable sanctions. It's here for now also the share say, please respond to my office within 30 days of receipt of this letter. Thank you. Osha, member of Congress Henry C. Hank. Na the picture ena media tremosano. Yes, Sana Walker say Kennedy Agyapong no yen take these actions against him. Nti for chewadwen e comment box to mo medase.